Sometimes the biggest dreams end in the hardest hits, and for YouTube star Cleetus McFarland, his first NASCAR Truck Series race lasted just 6 laps before slamming into the wall at Daytona.
Just overcorrected.
Yeah, 100% my fault. Terrible mistake.
This was supposed to be the moment Garrett Mitchell, better known as Cleetus McFarland, to his millions of fans, showed the NASCAR world what he could do. The 30-year-old had worked his way up through ARCA racing, learning from his late mentor Greg Biffle. Friday night at Daytona was his big shot in the Truck Series, driving the number 4 Black Rifle Coffee Chevrolet for Niece Motorsports. But things went wrong fast. Cletus had been racing in the ARCA series, making 3 starts last year. His whole racing journey came from conversations with NASCAR legend Greg Biffle, who passed away just last month. Biffle told him straight up that getting to the Daytona 500 wasn't going to happen without serious work. They made a plan together, a step-by-step climb up the NASCAR ladder. When Biffle died, Cletus almost quit racing completely. But then he realized something important. What would Biff want? His mentor would want him to keep going, to keep chasing that dream. So there he was at Daytona International Speedway for the Fresh from Florida 250, the very first Truck Series race of 2026. The truck had special tributes to Greg Biffle on it. A sticker on the name rail and the words, "Be like Biff" on the bumper. All 4 Niece Motorsports trucks honored Biffle that night because Travis Pastrana and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had also raced with him back at Roush Fenway Racing. Practice didn't give Cletus much time to learn. He only got 2 or 3 laps in the truck because of tech issues. In his first truck practice session ever, he finished 23rd, which was actually 3rd best among his teammates. The team worked hard during the limited time they had, but it wasn't enough preparation for what was coming. Friday night arrived and the green flag dropped. Right from the start, something Cletus wasn't expecting happened. The trucks went 3 wide immediately. He later said he was having the time of his life out there, running inside the top 10 with all these experienced drivers. The pack stayed 3 wide from the second lap on, and his truck was moving around a lot. Then came lap 6, or lap 7, depending on which timing you look at. Cletus came off turn 4 and his truck got loose. He was running tight all night, trying to be careful not to hit the guy on the outside of him. When the truck wiggled, his first thought was that he didn't want to wreck 30 other race cars. So he turned left to correct it. But he turned too much. Way too much. "I overcorrected to the left like an idiot," Cletus said after the crash. "That's something Biff did not teach me." The number 4 truck spun sideways in the tri-oval. It lost all traction and went sliding toward the inside wall at the entrance to pit lane. Then came the impact. The driver's side door hit the safer barrier hard. The truck bounced and ripped through the infield grass, tearing up chunks of turf before finally stopping. On the radio, Cletus immediately said, "I'm all good. That was a good knock, but I'm good." Then he added that the truck had to be destroyed. He was right about that. He climbed out on his own and took the ride to the infield care center. The doctors checked him over and cleared him to leave. Physically, he was fine. Emotionally, it was a different story. This was the first caution of the race, and Cletus was the only driver involved. Nobody else got collected. He caused it, and he wrecked himself, which made it even worse. Outside the care center, Cletus faced the cameras and took full responsibility. "Yeah, 100% my fault," he told the media. "Terrible mistake. Man, it's impressive. Those guys can run 3 wide for that long, and when that thing stepped out, I mean, you just have a couple feet on either side, and I just didn't have the ability to gather it up." He explained that ARCA racing was completely different. In ARCA, they didn't go 3 wide on the second lap like the Truck Series did. The aerodynamics were much stronger in the trucks. Everything happened faster. The truck was moving around more than he expected. He admitted he might have been too fired up, wheeling it too hard for someone with his experience level. But the worst part for Cletus wasn't the crash itself. It was what he missed out on. "Takeaway is tough because I just didn't get a chance to learn anything, you know?" he said. "I was having a freaking blast. I just blew it. So I don't get to learn anything at Daytona once again." This was becoming a pattern. The last time he raced at Daytona in ARCA, he went 17 laps before his day ended. This time, only 6 or 7. He kept asking for just one thing. "Please, Let me stay in the race long enough to learn something. Standing in what he called the worst spot to do an interview in the entire Daytona Speedway, Cletus summed it up perfectly. "I did not check myself before I wrecked myself." That line went viral immediately. It showed his personality, his humor even in disappointment, and his willingness to admit mistakes. He even referenced some advice Carson Hocevar had given him. Carson told him that if he caused the wreck, he usually wouldn't be in the wreck. But this time, Cletus caused it and was the only one who wrecked. When asked to rate the hit, he gave it a 5 out of 10. He'd had worse impacts before, but the damage to the truck was complete. The number 4 Chevrolet was done for the night. Cletus finished 37th, dead last in the field. The race went on without him, and what a race it turned out to be. Tony Stewart, the 3-time NASCAR champion making his first start in nearly 10 years, also crashed out. Stewart was driving the number 25 Ram truck for Colleague Racing, marking the return of Stellantis and Dodge to NASCAR. On lap 36, Jake Garcia got turned into Stewart's truck, sending the legend into the outside wall. Stewart's night ended in 36th place, just one spot ahead of Cletus. Before his crash, Stewart had said he felt like the old man running the daycare that night. He was starting to have fun out there, getting the truck dialed in. When everything ended, his crew chief asked if he'd come back and race again. Stewart joked that he didn't think he'd be racing 10 years after retiring, but I guess never say never. The finish of the race was absolutely wild. Chandler Smith came from 5th to 1st on the final lap in a 4-wide battle at the line. John Hunter Nemechek had been leading, but Gio Ruggiero wasn't content to finish 2nd. He wiggled Nemechek around, opening up the outside lane. His approach to racing has always been to wait for opportunities rather than forcing his way into the next level. Travis Pastrana actually asked him to race at Nice for this Daytona weekend. That's how the opportunity came about. For now, Cletus has a 4-race ARCA schedule planned for 2026. After Saturday's race at Daytona, he'll head to Talladega in April, then Michigan in June, and finally Kansas later in the season. Friday night was brutal. 6 laps, a hard hit, and a destroyed race truck. The disappointment was written all over his face. The frustration of not getting to learn, not getting to show what he could do, not getting to honor his mentor the way he wanted to. For now, the Daytona dream got destroyed in a brutal wreck, but the dream itself, that's still alive. And knowing Cletus, this is just one more chapter in a much longer story.